Hey guys, how's it going? So today I wanted to go through a bit of a different video. It's actually not really anything to do with languages, but I know a few guys were asking me questions about Taiwan, like what to expect, what sort of things are here, what's life like here, and so on. So I thought it would be useful to go over 7 facts that I think you would be useful to know before you arrive in Taiwan. Maybe you know all of them already, maybe you only know some of them, but hopefully there's something useful here if you're planning on coming either for a visit or to stay long term. The first one is, and this won't be a surprise if you're familiar with going anywhere in Asia, but Taiwan is a very cash-based country. So I've been to Japan and China and places like that, and Hong Kong, and a lot of it, especially compared to the West, is entirely cash-based society. And I think Japan especially as well. And you go to most places, they don't accept credit card. You have to keep cash in you all the time. It means it can be a lot more hassle paying for stuff, because then you always have to worry about having the right change on you, and then you can always get piled up loads of coins and stuff like that. So that's the first thing. It's a very cash-based society. And the second thing is you can get something called an Easy Card, which you can see here, and you can buy this at most convenience stores. I think you can buy it at all convenience stores like 7-Eleven, Family Mart and stuff like that. And you can, at the convenience stores or at the MRT station and maybe some other places as well, you can top money onto this. And you can use this for all public transport. You can use it in convenience stores as well. So if you're going to like 7-Eleven, Family Mart, or just taking the MRT or buses and stuff like that, you can use this, and it's going to be really convenient. You can just put money on this and then travel anywhere you want. And the second thing is, this is my student card here for the university, NTNU, and if you are a student here, then this also doubles as a Easy Card. So I bought one, this is the one I bought, and then I found out that you could use this as well. And actually, if you use your student card, you get a student discount, which I didn't know before. So it was about a month here, I bought a yo-yo card for I think it was like 100 NTD or something, and then I was using this instead of the student card, when I could have been saving money, and it does add up. So if you're a student here, don't buy an Easy Card, you use your student card, you can top money onto this, and it's going to be a lot easier. So point number 3 is that because it's a cash-based society and you're going to be using a lot of notes, every time if you're like me, you tend to hand over hundreds or 200s or whatever, and you don't like counting up the exact change for stuff every single time. So you're going to get all this money building up in your wallet, which is quite annoying. So what you can do is, if you go into the MRT stations, what you can do is there's a self-service machine. You can use it to top up your card, and you just put your card on the counter. I'll put a video up here, and you simply just drop the coins into the slot, and you can get rid of all your change and just top up your Easy Card. And for me, that's incredibly easy and convenient way to just keep my card topped up and get rid of all my change at the same time, get rid of all the little coins which are just going to kind of accumulate and just kind of be annoying otherwise. And the next thing I want to go over is the labelling laws for vegetarian food in Taiwan, because this is a little bit complicated. So first of all, I want to thank my friend Junjun for letting me use the picture that she made. So this is her YouTube channel and Instagram, Vegan Girls, and I'll leave a link to her YouTube in the description, and thanks for letting me use the photo. So as you can see here, it's split. Actually, there's 5, and I'm going to refer to the English on the left here, but I'm just leaving the Chinese on the right so you can compare and see what the characters look like for each one. So there's 5 different categories of vegetarian in Taiwan. There's lacto-vegetarian, ovo-vegetarian, lacto-ovo, strict vegetarian, and I've called this one Western vegetarian. This is hard to translate because some of these concepts aren't in English. But so if you look over here, this is basically a picture of what isn't included in all the different types. So basically, because a lot of the vegetarian is related to Buddhism, and they don't eat something called the 5 pungent roots. So if you look here, it's this one here that says Wu Shin, and you can see the note here, 5 pungent roots, and it includes stuff like onions and garlic and things like that. So they've got different types of labelling laws here in Taiwan, and anything that's a vegetarian has to be labelled by law, and you can find this on stuff like crisp packets in 7-Eleven and things like that. You can see all the different types here, and you can see exactly what would be in the product. So the first one is, say, Western vegetarian, or this one, Wu Shin Su, which means it contains onions, garlic, and other stuff from the 5 spices. And then it doesn't tell you whether it contains dairy and eggs, so if you're vegan, it's not very useful. It just means it doesn't contain meat, but it does contain onions and garlic. The next one is Chuen Su, and this is the closest thing to vegan that they have, which again, it's not the same thing. They they can eat honey, but they can't eat onions and garlic. So if you like onions and garlic, it might be labelled as this one, wushin su, but it might be vegan, it might not be. You have to read the ingredients list. But if it is labelled as chuansu, again, it might contain honey. You might have to look out for that. And then the same here is danai su. It's the same as wushin su, but this one doesn't contain onions and garlic, and it does contain either eggs and dairy, and these are the same as well. These don't contain any onions and garlic. So if you're vegan like me, then it can be quite annoying, because although chuansu is quite a useful label and it contains no dairy and eggs, you have to ask for honey. But depending on what the product is, you can know pretty certainly if you buy a pack of ready sort of crisps and it's labelled as chuansu, that's not going to contain honey in that. So it's still pretty useful. And this is something that I was only when I got here, because I was squinting at the ingredients list trying to read the small print, and then I just found out there was a thing on the front saying it had no eggs or dairy that I could have just looked at in the first place, and it would have saved me a lot of time squinting at the ingredients list on the back. So yeah, that's basically it. If you're vegan, the closest thing is chuansu. And although you go to a lot of vegetarian restaurants, they probably do understand this word here, but it's not definite, so it's best to ask and speak clearly. Say, does it have any eggs or milk? Because sometimes they say, is it chuansu, and they think you're saying chuanbu chisu ma, because it's chuan means all and su means vegetarian, so they think you're asking about all the food vegetarian, or is this a strict vegetarian, which is no eggs and milk. So there's a bit of confusion there. I always find it easy just to ask clearly, does it have eggs or milk, and then you don't have to worry about stuff getting lost in the ambiguity. And the next thing I want to talk about is how the garbage trucks work here. So when I arrived, I wasn't really sure what the rules are behind this, but basically what happens is there's a garbage truck that comes out almost every day at a specific time at a specific place, and you need to either ask your landlord or your roommates where to go to drop off your garbage. So unlike in the UK, when you can just leave it outside your house on the front doorstep and the man comes and collects it, this time you have to go at a specific time to drop the bags in the garbage truck yourself, which some people find annoying, but you get used to it quite quickly. And basically this is just something you have to ask your landlord about, or housemates, wherever to go to actually drop this off, because there's going to be one near your house. There are quite a few spots dotted around the city. And in terms of time, then normally I think after work hours, so I think the one near me it's at like 5:30, 8:30 and 9:30 roughly. And then they don't come on Wednesdays and Sundays. And also, if you want recycling, you're going to have to separate out that yourself into a separate bag. There's 3 trucks that come. The first one's garbage, and normally the one at the back is recycling. And the next thing I want to talk about is something that I only learned very, very recently, is that when you get given receipts here, there's actually, and I'll put a bigger picture on the screen, so actually on the receipts there's an 8-digit number, and what this is every time you buy something you get this 8-digit number, and you can use that, and it basically enters you for free into this lottery draw that's, I think, run a few times a month, that you have a chance of winning some money that you can go and collect from your local convenience store. And this is, anyone can enter. As soon as you buy something from a store, you're automatically entered. This includes foreigners, so you can go collect it as well. And if anyone's interested, I'll leave a post in the description, a link to a website which explains it in more detail. Final thing I wanted to go over is they use Line for absolutely everything here. When I came here, I didn't really use Line before. We don't use it in the UK. And I was at the induction lecture at the start. I was giving a speech telling us what to expect at the uni, what it's like and stuff like that, and then go, right, everyone can stop and scan this QR code. And I was kind of, how do I do that? And I was like trying to take a picture on my phone, nothing was happening. And then the person next to me was like, oh, you need to use Line, and you need to scan the QR code with Line. And they've used this for so much stuff. I go to an event with my friends, like my friend sets up an event, like some games event. He was like, scan the QR code on this piece of paper and it'll enter you in the Line group, and you can do it on that. Or even the textbooks at the university, to download audio, they don't have a CD, they have a QR code which you scan at the back. You can scan using Line, and then you can download the MP3 that way. So they use Line for absolutely everything over here, and they use QR codes a lot. So even when I've gone to watch certain speeches and lectures and things, like some of my friends have given, they have like QR codes where you scan, and then it brings up a survey to like kind of respond with the audience. So they use it for absolutely everything over here. And that's it. So that's 7 things I thought would be useful to know before coming to Taiwan. 7 things that I wish I knew before I came to Taiwan. I hope you guys found something useful. And I know this one's nothing related to language, but I hope you found it useful anyway. And that's it for today. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.